There we are. Everyone's in the right places. Yay, that's cool. Yay!
Cool.
Hello, fellow Cravers, and welcome to the CTG Podcast for Friday, the 20th of November. Yes, it's a Friday. It's weird. Usually a Wednesday. Now, before we start the podcast, I just want to explain what happened on Wednesday. We had major technical difficulties where we ended up having to postpone the podcast. We're really sorry about that, but we're here now. Hi. And this week I am joined by Shimmy, and
Hello.
Our guest this week is JeSTeR. How are you two doing this week?
Very well,
Hello.
thank you.
This is
Doing well, thank you.
This is weird. This is the first time we haven't got a member of Crave the Game on the podcast as well.
A very special moment
It's
indeed.
a very
isn't it?
special
Yeah,
moment
first
indeed, yes.
in over a year.
JeSTeR, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Or what do you do usually on YouTube? Bits and pieces?
Basically, I'm just a common gamer YouTuber. I started my gaming channel 2 years ago, like just uploading videos about playthroughs from games that no one plays. Then I got this game called Daisy, and I got addicted for more than 1 year and kept making videos. I probably will have in total from all games, probably I will have more than 400 videos on my YouTube, but I just get too addicted with one game only sometimes and try to make series from different things just to change. But I'm happy with what I do, and well, I guess I keep entertaining others with the fun I have on these games. So
Yeah, I would say we all get addicted to games one time or other. Like a lot of us at the moment seem to be addicted to the Fallout 4 side of things, especially me.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, thank you for joining us on this show. It's and very last minute as well. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
last minute. Yeah, thank you very much.
No
So
problem.
anyway, let's start talking a little bit about the gaming news that has happened this week. First of all, let's start with Steam. We're getting close to the autumn and winter sales again. The usual year where our wallets ended up getting completely trashed and emptied out before the end of the year. And it seems that they're going to be changing the format a little bit for the autumn and winter sale, where they've said, according to a leak, that there is not going to be any Steam Flash or daily sales. Now, if you're not 100% sure what those are, they are usually the things that you see on the featured page, which changes every day. What I'm guessing, being PC gamers, I'm guessing you use Steam quite a lot,
Yeah.
like I do.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you are usually looking forward to when it comes to the Steam sales. I think they are infamously known for being brilliant deals, but then you end up buying games that you usually don't end up playing in the end.
Yeah, I think it's like going to a car boot sale, where you'd go and you see all these things that I haven't got one of them, or I don't have that in my house. And it's only 50p, it's only £1, it's only £5. And then you buy it and you get it all home and you think, actually, you just bought a load of rubbish, probably play on them, for about an hour. But it's nice to sales, especially the flash sales. You can see them on Steam and go, oh, I've never heard of that, the game developer, and I've never heard of that game before, and it's only for £2. I can afford £2 to try something out differently, So it does encourage gamers to go on
Spending
try out
sprees.
differently.
Yeah.
Steam wants to make money and you want to spend money, but at least you can get to try out new games for a cheap price. Instead of you're playing your normal games that you're always playing over and over again.
That's my favourite quote of whatever you've said there. Steam wants to make money and we want to spend money.
Yeah.
I've not actually come across someone who's actually said, you know what I'm in the mood of doing? I'm in the mood of spending money.
Just
spending it. Yeah, make it rain.
Make it rain. on
Can
game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry
No,
for
that's all right.
interruption. I've noticed that this Steam store changed a bit from some months ago to now. I've noticed that everything on the front page is on sale, and they keep having sales daily, no matter if it's winter or like Halloween sales or whatever. Many games are on sale, and we always get tempted to buy anything. Probably we're not gonna play, as you said before, I guess, because it's on sale. It's so cheap. I got many games from that they are on sale, and sometimes I end one or other time to get a refund for that game. I even before I buy a game on sale, I keep watching videos about the game to know the game a little more to avoid the refund thing. But sometimes I just get the refund because the game is so bad. That's why it's so cheap. But just quite tempting to see something on sale. And every day I come here, every day probably I can have €10 on my wallet, but I will still spend because you have chances to buy anything. I'm not that excited now with the winter sales like I was like a year ago or something, because this was completely different. So probably it will be different this year. That's fine.
Well, the thing is, I've got a feeling that is the main reason why they are on about changing it. Now, like I said, this is just a leak at the moment. They haven't, Steam hasn't officially come out and said that they're going to be doing this, and I doubt that they'll officially say it until the actual sales happen. But yeah, I would agree. It's like the last summer sale that we've just had. I did keep on going back to it, looking at what games were available, did the voting part of it as well, but there wasn't anything that really jumped out to me. So even with the winter sale, I think it was the winter sale, I went there looking for one game, and that was South Park Stick of Truth. That's all I was going in there looking for. Okay, yeah, I still ended up spending nearly about £50 on the sales stuff, but it's different because this is the problem with the winter sales and the sales. Like you said, each weekend they usually do a kind of sale on Steam nowadays. You end up already having the game. It's like I've even reached a point where I'm seeing something that's on sale. Said, "Oh, I really want that game." You go and click on it, and then it says, "Oh, you've already got the game." Think, "Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay then." And then you realise you haven't played that game yet. Okay, It's there. Okay, thanks. But anyway, like I said, we've also been given the dates for the autumn and the winter sale as well at the same time. The autumn sale will apparently start from 10 a.m. PT, so that's usually 6 p.m. UK time. On November the 25th to December the 1st. And then the winter sale is supposed to be starting from December the 22nd to January the 4th. So it's the normal format. It's about usually a week long for the autumn sale, and it's usually about 2 weeks long for the winter sale. Same with like they do with the spring and the summer sales, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there, JeSTeR made a good point of saying that the refund mechanic now means you can potentially spend a little bit more. You know, I've watched a few videos on Twitch or YouTube with this game. It looks good, and sometimes people were hesitant in buying it. I've bought it. I've bought 2 games from the sales and refunded them, and thought actually they're a load of rubbish. I'll get my money back, please. But if that refund policy wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have tried them in the first place. You know, I've tried a completely different genre. I thought, I'll go for it. It might not be for me. I bought Resident Evil 4 was on a flash sale.
Yeah.
I bought that, and I thought, and then as soon as I played it, I thought that's why I hate Resident Evil games, because the mechanics are total pish. So I refunded it, and I got my money back. But I wouldn't have tempted to buy it if I didn't know that safety net was there, which I don't think. Can you go to local supermarket and buy a game and then take it back and say it's a load of rubbish, can I trade it back please?
No. Well, if it's
If it's broken, you can, but
I
I don't
think
think you can take it back and say it's god awful.
it depends on where you're going to. I think if it's, for example, an actual game specialist, like for example, Game Here, because they're a bit clever about that kind of stuff. Their rule is if you've taken the seal off it, you can't bring it back. I think it's the same with like Argos. But if you go to like a supermarket or something like that, where they're not that clever when it comes to the
Yeah.
actual game sales things, usually you can take it back.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, the refund policy, which did come out, I think it was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, it has changed Steam quite. It's changed Steam a lot, hasn't it? Where
Yeah.
people, I think the rule is it you've got to have less than
30
2
minutes.
hours.
Less than 30. Is it 30
I
minutes
thought it
or
was
is it
less
2
than
hours?
2 hours. I think it's less than 2 hours of gameplay on it, or is it? Yeah, it's 2 hours
Yeah,
of
it's 2
gameplay
hours.
and then
Yeah.
2 hours
2 weeks of purchase.
or 2 weeks
Yeah.
of purchase. I
It's
thought it was 30
Between
minutes. I
2
should have
weeks
given that
to
game more.
purchase, and you can play only up to 2 hours between the max of 2 weeks.
Right.
Is that?
Yeah, and then but then again, the refund. I've had a go of the refund policy. I ended up buying a. Now this doesn't just work for games. This also works for the software as well, which kind of
Yes.
surprised me. I ended up getting this face rig type thing where you could use a character.
Me too.
Yeah, you ended up using it as well. I hated it. It worked, but it didn't work as well as I was thinking of it. So I ended up doing the refund with that, and it worked perfectly fine. I thought that there would have been a lot of complications waiting to get my money back. It's going to take about 6 weeks. No, it took about 7 days or something like that. Now they don't send the money to your
Goes to your wallet, doesn't it?
yeah, it goes straight to your wallet. It doesn't go. So in other words, it's there for you to spend on something
Stay
else.
spending.
Yeah.
Which is better than nothing because you can then just get it for a different game, which you know you're going to enjoy. So,
I usually got my refunds like in 3-4 days, quite fast. But the thing is that I think people sometimes abuse from this refund feature.
yeah, definitely. Well, they have got a sort of rule about it. I think they do keep track of how often you do refund as well.
Yeah.
So if they notice that you have been saying, oh, you've done about 7 refunds in a week, yeah, there's something fishy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good.
So they do keep track of that kind of stuff, which is it's a good idea because it's good for them and it's good
Yeah.
for the developers.
Yeah.
But there is going to be people who are going to slip through the net with this kind of stuff anyway. It's anything. Refunds, even in retail itself, people will slip through the net and will still manage to get their refund. I've seen it happen often. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes because, like you said, the refund policy came out this year. I think these are the first 2 major sales which will have that refund policy there as well. I think
Yeah.
it was after the summer sale that this started pretty much.
Yes, it was. I guess it was.
So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Like I said, I'm guessing you guys aren't as excited of the autumn and winter sale, but if you could, what games would you be looking for this year, if there's any games? Batman
not
Arkham Knight.
Let me check my wish list.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I,
common wish
I, w- I
list.
wouldn't
Well, I'm
mind. Go on, JeSTeR.
Sorry, I'm waiting for a game, but that will come out in 2016.
Yeah, I
It
don't know
is
be in
Mafia
the
3.
sale list.
Yeah, I have some games on my wish list, but I'm probably not gonna even try all of them. But I'm not really waiting for probably, well, actually, I'm waiting for one that I play in closed alpha that will come out in 4th December. It's called Heartful. It's kind of a Rust, but with cartoon graphics. It's a survival and crafting game, like the
Sorry.
ones I've been playing.
Oh yeah,
But
Hurt World. Yeah.
Hurtworld.
It-
I've
yeah.
heard of that somewhere.
I've seen the Steam green light a few times, and I'm waiting for more of those indie games than any other game right now, because some big games that come out, are actually good. They cost a price of a game for PlayStation, so no thanks for now.
I've got a
That's it.
question actually. You mentioned Greenlight. What do you guys think of Greenlight? Now, there's one game that I've currently kept my eye on in that, called Ruby something Eclipse. It's basically a game from Rooster Teeth Games, which is based on one of their web anime series, which I'm looking forward to. I ended up playing the tech demo of it, and so I'm happy to greenlight it. But what do you guys think of Greenlight in the first place? Do you think it's usually a waste, or do you think it's nice to see those gems show up in there?
It's nice to see the gems, but I do feel
But
like
it's finding the
crap on
gems.
them. Find the gems. I don't know how
Actually,
a lot of stuff go on it, but I don't really use Steam Greenlight.
actually don't know much about every detail of Steam Greenlight, but it's a great way of a small groups of developers to promote their games, of course, and people just share the game page so everyone can vote on it. And I'm waiting actually for a game called Wintertide. I don't know if it's gonna be good. It's all about in a snowy environment and everything
You've already
else.
got that sold me
Another
there.
survival game. I can get rid of survival games, but sometimes I get informed from many Steam Greenlight games through Twitter. Twitter is a great way of sharing them, so I just know, and then I checked Steam Greenlight because of that, because I'm not much into passing my time as much on Greenlight.
So you would more if you saw it on something like Twitter or say on YouTube or something like that, someone mentioned this Greenlight game, you would more go and have a look at it than actually go on to Greenlight itself and see what's there.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing is I'm the same with that. It's the thing is, it's the easiest way to find it. I've seen a lot of people put stuff on Greenlight. I'll be honest, I have gone on Greenlight to see what is there at times, but like I said, you're shoveling through all the rubbish that's already there in the first place. So, it's a lot of people who end up going on Greenlight. You don't go on Greenlight. Advertise it on Twitter as well. Get other people to play it. If you've got a tech demo, which I'm guessing you would have to have if you're going on to Greenlight, send it out to YouTubers to have a little bit of a go of, and they'll probably show it on their videos. I'm just saying.
I'm actually browsing right now Greenlight, and I'm not liking. Just appears some game names that I'm kind of afraid
just to get
of.
Out of there quick! It's a dark place. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really dark place in there.
There are so many awful games, but I really prefer Twitter. I never liked Twitter as much as I like now because of people sharing stuff, and then I see some pictures of the game before heading seriously to vote on them. Just kind of afraid. Even the games that are 99 cents on Steam selling, I'm afraid of them. Many of the bad games I have, I won them on those key giveaways because just...
don't worry. I know what you mean.
Disappointing.
There's like a limit for me. Yeah, there's a limit for me how much I'll pay minimum and the maximum. If you're below that minimum,
Steam free games like those games, Scare Jumps and free games on Steam are just disappointing. It makes me depressed sometimes for trying those games. I quickly uninstall them, but I prefer to know a bit more of a game before browsing for real. Because
today you've learned to never go back into Greenlight until someone actually tells you on Twitter to go and look at that game.
That's it. Do not browse. Just go straight to
go straight. Go to a link.
I stopped browsing it actually.
Anyway, let's move on to another story. Have any of you two played any of the Telltale games? First of all, yes. I've played quite a lot of them myself. On about that, we're going to be doing our top 5s next month. Sneak peek of mine, one of them's going to be a Telltale game in my top 5 games for this year. Yeah. So
I never
You never. Well, they're good games. If you ever want to just play a casual game, we always do highly recommend play the Telltale games because
Very, very story driven, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
very
it's
very
like
story.
reading a book.
Well, the Game of Thrones Telltale game had just finished this week. The first one that had 6 parts in it, and I thought it didn't do that well. But then again, I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones. I'm more fan of the other game. Oh, don't shake your head at me. You know I'm not a fan of the. I'm a gamer
Right.
geek. I'm not that kind of geek. I'm sorry.
I like my fantasy, so
I know
like
you
me.
like your
Me
fantasy.
neither.
Well,
I never played these total games, but this strategy, medieval, and I don't know much about them.
well,
It's a point and click genre, isn't it? It's like Monkey Island, but
a bit more.
Well,
robust.
love Monkey Island.
yeah,
Well,
it's
then
that
you
sort of
love
stuff.
Telltale games, I would say.
It's very plays with your head and your heart as well.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
game's very, very good.
Well, like I said, I thought the Game of Thrones one didn't do that well compared to the other one that was running this year. But it might have because it seems that Telltale have confirmed that Game of Thrones will be getting a second series, second season. They've not said when it's going to be happening. All they've said is that they are going to be making a second season for it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess.
I think I might try it out. I'm still enjoying me. Well, I finished the Walking Dead season 2,
I've still got to
which
finish
which wrecked my head at the end. So the Walking Dead ones are really amazing, and a lot of choices there that you do question your own humanity.
that. I've
That's
got a feeling
nice.
Game of Thrones is just going to be the same, mate.
Well, you expect it from Game of Thrones, don't you, with all the killing that goes on in the series? If you watch the series, no spoilers, but everyone knows all the
Everyone
three
dies.
favourite characters dies. Yeah. Everyone dies.
Game of Thrones, everyone dies.
Yeah, the end.
The end.
Darth
Come on,
Vader
go-
is your father. Oh,
Wrong series.
spoiler. Wrong series.
Well, like you said, the Walking Dead game. Now, one thing that is kind of worrying me at the moment, we've only got one game series running of Telltale. Now, Telltale usually runs 2 series. Like last year, this year it was Tales from the Borderlands and Game of Thrones. The year before that, it was Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead Season 2.
They got the Minecraft one, or is that not classed as a series?
That is classed as series. The only one they've got at the moment is Minecraft. That's it. So, where's our second series? Or are they holding back on us or something? I don't know. Well, we've heard rumours that they are going to be doing another special episode of The Walking Dead, a Telltale game of that. But they've said that there is going to be a third season of Walking Dead. But I've heard rumours that's not going to be out until the end of next year, which will probably be going with probably Wolf Among Us 2 or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think we're going to see a second one, or do you think they are trying to calm down a little bit with their episodic gaming?
Not sure, really.
Would you advise them to? I wouldn't.
I think the only trouble with episodic gaming is the money, isn't it? It still feels like buying another game. But well, it feels like buying DLC because it's the same game, but it's an extra. I think they should just bundle it all together as one big game.
Yeah,
instead of
but
waiting
then
about
again, that kind of, if it was all bundled together in one big game and it just came out like that, which you can already technically do with some of the retail versions of it, I think it kind of ruins the special way that Telltale do their games. The thing is, we think of Telltale as the guys who do episodic games very well.
Yeah, I know that, but at the same time, I've only bought them on a Steam sale and bought them as the bundle. So
Yeah.
I've never really been. That's what's put the episodicness has put me off it. It's put me onto it like I read it like a book, like it's a chapter of the book each episode, or a different episode of a series, or a different film in the running order. You know, like it's a trilogy or whatever. So I still stop and take a break, have a week off, and then go back and do the episode. But I do buy them all together and wait till I get a good price. Maybe I'm just a cheapskate. I don't know.
Then again, sometimes it's a better idea to do that because when it comes just before the last episode comes out, the first episode is usually free nowadays anyway. So that's what they did with both Tales and Game of Thrones. They said, "Oh right, yeah, we've nearly finished the series. You know what? Here's the first episode for you guys to have for free, and then you might buy the rest of them."
Yeah, because you buy it and then need to know what happens and say, I don't want to eat this week, take my money.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I never tried a single game from Telltale. I'm seeing here the Monkey Island, Tales of Monkey Island. I played the previous ones, the old ones, but I never played this one. But I'm seeing the images of it, the pictures, and I'm not liking. So.
You're not liking. Be honest. I think when it comes to the Telltale games themselves, okay, graphically they're all right, but it is mainly the story that does bring people in with them. But then again, it's not just the story; it's what licenses they can get hold of. One thing about Telltale games themselves is that they haven't really done an original game from themselves, have they?
From themselves,
yeah.
I'm checking other games that supposedly first don't belong to them.
Back to the Future and things like that, didn't they, as well?
And Sam & Max was one of the first ones that they did. But then again, they are on about doing an original game themselves anyway. But we've not heard much about that. We might hear something at PlayStation Experience, which is at the beginning of next month. Which, at the moment, I'm enjoying one thing about this. Kaj is getting on my nerves about Final Fantasy VII. He is really starting to wind me up about it. And I think it hasn't helped with me and Billy talking about the Nintendo Direct, which happened earlier this week. Or was it at the end of last week?
Last week.
And especially when we told him that it looks like Nintendo is going to get Cloud before the PlayStation 4. Didn't really go down well with him. Yeah, if people haven't heard, Smash Bros. Cloud is going to be joining Smash Bros.
What's all that about? I don't know.
I don't know.
Smash.
I didn't realise he was a Nintendo character.
He's not. This is a weird thing about it. Final Fantasy VII hasn't been on any Nintendo console, and it's going to be. He's coming to Smash Bros. Why?
I don't know. He really needs to kill Pikachu, maybe.
I've heard that there is going to be a stage in that where you are fighting over Midgar, which is the main area in Final Fantasy VII, where you see summons popping up through the interactive stage, which does actually look quite cool in it. And of course, his Smash fighting, whatever it is his Limit Break Overdrive. So.
Okay.
So it looks good. I'm happy. This is, I think, one of the first characters that, because they ended up earlier this year asking us what characters would you like to see in Smash Bros. And I'm guessing Cloud popped up quite often. Are you surprised about that?
Well,
closest Nintendo's probably going to get to a Final Fantasy game for a while.
Well, yeah, they might be, is it just a cheap way of cashing in on the franchise being relived to maybe sell a few more copies of Smash Brothers?
Well, we've got to remember this isn't the first character that isn't a Nintendo character in the series. They also had Ryu from Street Fighter join not long ago as well. And then even the characters that were there from the beginning, you've got Mega Man, you've got Pac-Man, you've got Sonic.
Sonic.
So it is not unusual for non-Nintendo characters to be there, but I find it a little bit unusual when it's a character that hasn't been on a Nintendo console before. The thing is, with Street Fighter, we have had Street Fighter on things like the Super Nintendo and stuff like that, haven't we?
Yeah.
But like I said, with Final Fantasy VII, we have never had that on a Nintendo product. It was planned to go on a Nintendo product, but it wasn't powerful enough at the time. That's why
Well,
he went over to
maybe it's a
PlayStation.
quick hint that they might be getting the new relaunch version.
What, before PlayStation?
Yeah,
I would love that. I would just love that, just to see Kaja's face. He will completely explode. He will go all the way to Japan and then go strangle Square Enix, knowing him if that happened.
You go straight to game and buy a Nintendo.
You know he's not that desperate. This is actually quite cool. We can't really do too much Nintendo bashing today, can we? Oh yeah, we can. He didn't show up.
He's not shown up yet.
He's not
Just
shown
like
up.
as punishment.
Nah. Oh, that Nintendo and amiibos and stuff.
This is so gay.
But talking about the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, Sony's quietly launched a PlayStation 2 emulator on the PS4. I wonder why.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Well, the thing is, we heard rumours that this first started coming out a little bit when I think it was Eurogamer got the Star Wars version of the PlayStation 4. Well, you got the Star Wars Battlefront, but they also got a digital code for 4 games. One of them was a Nintendo game on there, but the other 3 were games that were on the PlayStation 1 and PS2. And so they put the codes in. It did the PlayStation 2 startup logo when you played those games. So that started making them think, wait, does that mean there's an emulator for the PlayStation 2 in here now? Well, it seems that Sony's actually come out and said, yeah, we do not expect backwards compatibility yet.
So the games that they release will be able to will be emulated, but you can't just put in your old Dakar Rally PS2 game and play it.
Yeah, Sony confirmed the emulator's existence to Wired, but they didn't offer any further information about it. They said that they're working on utilizing PS2 emulation technology to bring PS2 games forward to the current generation. We have nothing further to comment at this point of time, said their representative. So, no offense, they've got to do backwards compatible. It just makes sense. Now, we understand they can't do with the PlayStation 3 because of the whole cell chip and stuff like that. That makes perfect sense. But at the same time, your PlayStation, you have 2 other consoles before the PlayStation 3. For example, that's why your console is called the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
That you could actually bring and do an emulator for on the PlayStation 4. People would love that. You've got to remember, your audience now is in their 20s to 30s. Those people who played the PlayStation and PlayStation 2.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of good memories.
Exactly. So I've got a feeling they will be doing this. I've got a feeling they don't want to mention too much because I've been talking about this since we had this news told to us. But I've got a feeling they want to keep it quiet till their PlayStation experience.
Yeah,
in
probably.
my opinion. I've got a feeling what they're going to do is either the PlayStation Now is going to have the PS2 and PS1 games there, which I'm hoping they do not do that. Because I'm not a fan of PlayStation Now, because you can't stream their games on that, which is annoying. Because you're streaming from the cloud and that lot, it's a stupid idea. I think it would be better if they do PlayStation Classics again. I would buy another, say, another game that was PlayStation 1 or PlayStation... I would buy Dino Crisis again and play it on my PS4.
Dino Crisis, yeah, I'd buy Battlefield 2.
Exactly. People would buy the games.
Buy a lot of games if I could.
Exactly. Everyone would. Because
I
they're
passed so
awesome.
many years on PlayStation 1. It still works. Mine still works. And
Mine's somewhere. I don't know where I've
so
put
many
mine.
games.
Yeah, I've
Tomb
got
Raider,
PlayStation
Gran
2 as
Turismo
well.
2,
Yeah.
Resident Evil
Gran
3.
Turismo.
Yeah, it's the thing is, there's us, at least us here, and we know of a bunch of other people who did grow up playing either the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, or even before that. So there is a market there for people who will play it, and I've got a feeling this is the reason why we've not heard much about the Final Fantasy VII port as well. Because we know they've not mentioned anything. They've said that it's supposed to be coming winter 2015 to the PS4. Now, could it be that we've not heard much about it is because they're going to be announcing the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 classics coming to the PlayStation 4? Which I would be happy about. And Final Fantasy VII is probably going to be one of the first ones there. Even with the classic... Oh, wait, that would be weird. Say, switch to a new disc.
Yeah, that would be a good one, wouldn't it? Yeah. What's a disc?
I don't know. Where do we... What?
Yeah.
I need to change.
Do I stick it? I don't even have a disc drive.
Yeah, it's somewhere, I think. Yeah, it's somewhere about there. So yeah, it can still hold discs, but it's usually Blu-rays. I don't even know if CDs will work on it anymore. You hope. Now, I've got a feeling, if anything, they will be doing like a PlayStation Classic where you can buy it from the PlayStation Store. Talking about that, about the Xbox backwards compatible, now we spoke a little bit about it last week. There's one thing that has bugged me about it. Now, I'm happy that these games are available, because I've ended up having the Gears of War 1, 3, and Judgment. Fallout 3, I've been able to play that again because of it.
Yeah.
And other things. But there's one thing that's really bugging me. Now, these games are starting to show up on the Xbox Store and the Xbox One. You can't buy them yet.
They're on the store, but you can't buy them.
You can't buy... They're on the store. They're there. You can see them in the store, but you can't buy them. They bring up something called... It says bundle only. So you click on that button where it says bundle only, saying, I don't mind if I've got to buy 3 or 4 games as a bundle. No, there's no bundles for it. So it's there, but
Strange,
it's not
yeah.
there.
There, but it's not there. I like it.
So I'm thinking, no, just
They shouldn't add that.
I know they should.
You can buy just.
The thing is, you probably might be able to purchase it on the Xbox website. No offense, I don't want to do that. I want to purchase it on my Xbox One. But I don't want to go through a middleman just so I can play Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge.
So,
You and me.
I'm looking forward to Catalyst. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to the... Wait, what did they call it? It's not a remake. It's not being reborn. It's rebirthed. Or something like that.
Oh, rebirth.
It's rebirthed. I'm thinking...
Sounds very messy.
Yeah. Okay. Just say that you're rebooting it. We know you mean reboot. Don't give it a fancy word just to explain what's happening. Just don't.
Yeah. Just say rip off.
I'm still looking forward to it. I enjoyed the last Mass Effect, the last Mirror's Edge game. I'm going to enjoy this one. It's like even with Mass Effect, Kaj has been playing that. He's been getting this series ready for January. So.
All right.
Yeah. Talking about old games on the PlayStation. Have you heard of a game called Beyond Two Souls?
Yes.
Well, it's going to be hitting the PS4 next week.
Is it?
Yes.
What as a classic?
I don't know if it's going to be a remake or anything, or I've got a feeling it's going to be classed as a remake.
I see.
Or a remaster. Sorry, not a remake. I've got remake and remastered mixed up in my head at the moment. Or they're just going to bring it out. I just call it Beyond Two Souls.
To be on PlayStation 4 next week.
Yep. They've enhanced the graphics, including motion blur, bloom, and depth of field effects, as well as improved lighting and shadows. Yeah, so it's going to be a remaster. Simple enough.
It's basically like what they did to Tomb Raider and Metro as well when it did the console jump.
And it's not very expensive for...
Yeah, it's going to be about 30...
29, yeah.
About 30 euros or 25 quid. So the game comes out next week. It comes out in Europe on the 26th of November, which is next Friday. Next Thursday? Friday. Next Thursday. I really got to stop having these little conversations with myself. Yeah, next Thursday. But also they've announced that the original game which they made, Heavy Rain, will also be coming as a digital version on the PlayStation 4 on March the 1st.
Heavy Rain. That's supposed to be a
I would say
decent game.
that is one. I would say that is the best game on the PS3, in my opinion, next to The Last of Us, because it brought a genre of a point and click genre that a lot of people have enjoyed, and there is still quite a demand of it. For example, look at Until Dawn and how well that's done this year. I know a couple of people who are on about putting it as in the top 5.
Oh, Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? Really, it's a bit.
Well, the thing is, the only thing that you can complain about Until Dawn is that it wasn't marketed well, I think.
I certainly never heard of it until Kaj played it.
Exactly. Well, I've sort of heard of it just because of E3 and stuff like that. And I think it became a hit without people. I think it became a hit because of YouTube, which a lot of things seem to be nowadays. It's YouTubers are playing the game. Guess what?
Yeah.
If they enjoy the game, usually it sells well because of the YouTubers or streamers. So
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, this also said that both Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain will also be playable on the console during Sony's PlayStation experience next month as well. So people who are going to that, those games will be there to play. But
Cool.
for us who are not going to that, Beyond Two Souls comes out next week, and Heavy Rain comes out March. So yeah, it's nice to see those games are coming over.
And Davidoze.
Yeah. Talking about another game which seems to be coming over to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Who's in the mood for a Resident Evil game?
Me.
What would you say was the second worst game in Resident Evil?
Well, at least the first, I think it was Resident Evil 4. I really loved the first and the third, but I tried the 4 and hated the second one. I don't know, because I didn't play probably the 5, the one that.
The 5th one was bad, yeah.
Yeah, the 5th one.
In
Yeah, I
Africa.
think the 5th one.
So did you guys? So
I've seen another person playing it and I didn't like it.
Did you guys even touch the 6th one?
I played the demo
No.
on the Xbox 360.
Well, you guys will get a chance to play it on the Xbox One and the PS4.
Getting pushed on that.
It's getting pushed on that, yeah. When I first read it, I thought, oh, cool, Resident Evil 4 is going to be coming over, which I'm sort of happy with. That means it's going to be coming as a remaster.
Yeah, super remaster.
Yeah.
Super remaster. Well, no, it's Resident Evil 6. What it says here that it's been Resident Evil 6 has been rated for the PS4 and Xbox One. In Korean Game Rating Board, that is, spotted by Gamematsu. So the Korean classification body has delightfully leaked and has presaged announcements of multiple releases in the past. They have little doubt this is happening. The more interesting bit of speculation, does this mean we still have a fair while before Resident Evil 7 comes out?
Probably a long while before that comes out.
I've got an idea. Don't do Resident Evil 7. Do a reboot. Just give us a reboot. We don't want any more.
I think I will get back in the past and play Resident Evil 3 differently. I'm afraid to see how the 7 is going to be.
Well, it seems like it gets worse and worse at the moment if they keep doing that.
Yes, they just have to stop.
Well, at least we've got one good thing that's coming out of this. At least Revelations 2 was a really good game. That did actually go back to the old style of Resident Evil, in my opinion. And it's great. It's, like I said, it's one of my top 5s. I'm going to be announcing all my top 5s this week, aren't I? At this rate. But it's like, we've got to remember, there is still going to be some Resident Evil games coming out next year.
Raccoon City 2.
Sorry?
Raccoon City 2.
Well, yeah, it's called Umbrella Corps. To what it's actually wrote down. But yeah, it is pretty much Raccoon City 2.
Which was hated by the community.
Oh god, yeah.
Like a below 50 Metacritic.
I don't know where they got the idea of. You know what? They didn't really like Operation Raccoon City. Let's make another one. They'll
try
love
again.
it this time, and we'll make it so that it's more Battlefield-like. Yeah, that's what we want from a Resident Evil game. We want it more to be like Battlefield. No, we don't.
You buy the brand and expect it to be like the brand. Like why I like Fallout 4 at the moment is because it's exactly like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Because it works.
Just increase the obviously the graphics are a bit better, the gameplay is a bit better, but all the core mechanics are all the same. Let it do what it's doing. Some people like Billy said it was just boring. You know, it didn't because it's not much change. But
I don't mind. The thing is, I've enjoyed, like same with Fallout 4. I've enjoyed playing it. It's been out for over a week now, and I've ended up spending nearly 30 hours in the game. So it's still a great game. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, the other game that's coming out of Resident Evil is Resident Evil Zero HD Remaster, which I am also excited about because that is I haven't played that one because it was a GameCube exclusive.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of people are looking forward to that as well, because not many people end up playing that game. Then again, we've had a couple of people complain about Resident Evil, the HD remaster, Kaj. About certain doors aren't there anymore, certain doors are there, and you can go into the graveyard, blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
You can't please everyone, can you?
No, you can't.
That's the trouble. When you relaunch a game, it's got to be exactly the same. Otherwise, people will hate it.
It's got to be like the PlayStation version, not the GameCube bloody version.
So you might as well just go and play the bloody PlayStation version.
Which you probably might do if there's going to be an emulator.
Yeah, true.
So be happy about it. Stupid people. But yeah, like I said, we've got Umbrella Corps, which I'm going to guess. No. Oh wait, VG247 said it was surprisingly fun.
You said it was fun.
Video game 24/7.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
That is surprising. Yeah. Look, either way, I'm probably going to have a go of Umbrella Corps. So I ended up having a go of Operation Raccoon City. I'm not putting my hopes up too high because of Operation Raccoon City with that one. But that's the best way probably to go in for that game. And like I said, Resident Evil Zero is supposed to be coming out near the beginning of next year as well. So at least we'll have one good Resident Evil game next year.
Yeah, something to look forward to.
Yeah. So where else are we? Oh god, Overwatch, yeah, I keep forgetting.
Come on, get your stories out.
I've got plenty here. Fallout 4 sold 5,000 units on week 1 in the UK. 500,000 units.
Oh.
That's
Everyone
good.
is playing it now.
Physical copies?
That's
I'm not.
Yeah, that's just in retail.
Just in retail. I think JeSTeR downloaded it 3 times, didn't you?
No, I think the game was really way too much promoted before coming out. That's why people were so excited. Even if the price of the game it's a bit expensive, but it depends off it has. I never played the Fallout series anyway, and so I wasn't very excited with this game. But people did anything to buy it. So it had so much advertisement through YouTube, through anywhere. I go to Twitter or Facebook. I only see
there's Fallout.
Fallout, and so that's why.
Well, now Fallout's out. Haven't you noticed that all the advertising at the moment is now for Star Wars Battlefront?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for ramming that down my throat and reminding me that came out on Thursday.
Yeah,
buy it now. You love it. No. Okay, I did like
seen a good one that was like, it was a little meme and it said everyone's out and about playing Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm on Star Wars Battlefield 2. You know, and it's showing you the old graphics, just playing it like I don't care about this new game.
The thing is, we are on about getting Star Wars Battlefront on the PlayStation 4, but we're not rushing out to get it at the moment. We will end up having it, but no offense, there's other games I'm looking forward to still.
It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just flipping. It's like Battlefield or
Yeah,
Call
exactly.
of Duty, innit?
Yeah.
It's just Star Wars themed, but the new film coming out has put even more hype on it. I don't particularly like sci-fi that much to Bob get.
How often have I said on the podcast, I hate Star Wars?
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Star Wars. Get over it.
So would you want a Star Wars Call of Duty?
Yeah, I don't-
No. The only thing I just enjoyed playing the beta. Because we ended up pretending to be rebels and actually pretending not to shoot properly. That's my excuse.
Yeah, acting it out.
I was acting it out.
I like it.
But like I said, there's other games that I'm looking forward to that's still coming out this year. Just Cause 3, for example. I ended up having a go of that when I was at EGX. I loved it. I love the idea because it's one of those games where you could just go and play it and destroy everything. The best kind of games, in my opinion, where you just can destroy everything.
Like the old Mercenary series where you could just blow up the massive skyscrapers with a nuke.
Yeah, and Red Faction series as well.
Good. Red Faction,
Red Faction, yeah.
Good games.
And I'm also looking forward to Rainbow Six Siege because that is actually fun because it's one of those games where you've got to think compared to... Okay, I'm not a huge fan when it comes to the first-person shooter stuff. But I love it when there is some kind of tactical side to it. And that is what Rainbow Six is. It's a tactical
What, tactical
side.
like CSGO or...
Tactical, not as advanced as CSGO or Ghost Recon, but not as bad as Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yeah.
The thing that's in the middle, which is called Rainbow Six.
Yeah, in the middle. I did enjoy New Vegas series of that.
Well, like I said, that's why
Actually,
I'm looking forward to Siege, because it is basically doing the same thing again. It's got the terrorist hunt in there as well. You have got 5 versus 5 in there. So I'm looking forward to when that game comes out on the 1st.
I wouldn't buy it for 50 quid, which it's up on Steam for.
I might, but then again, I've got a feeling I might end up getting it because someone else wants to play it anyway. I might also do it for video reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... anyway, talking about games that are coming on the Xbox One, Ark Survival Evolved. It seems that the release on Xbox One is imminent.
Before Christmas.
They haven't actually given a proper date. It says here that Ark Survival Evolved is coming to Xbox One game preview very soon. So it might be coming before Christmas. And I'll look. So
wait and see.
Yeah, yeah. They just say that the Xbox One version is due for an imminent release. The posters refer to the Xbox Game Preview release, which was revealed back at Gamescom, and we'll see an early access style version deployed on the console. The full release of both the Xbox One and PS4 games, however, is not expected until later next year. So that is what the no offense, that is what's the point of the preview program.
Yeah, just to try it out.
Yeah. I'm actually very curious to see an alpha game on a console version. I have no idea how.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, they've already got a couple there. They've got.
Yeah, I don't know much because I stopped being a console gamer. But yes.
Yeah, I think
talking.
They've got. Is it not the forest? The snowy one, the snowy survival game.
Oh, Long Dark or something.
That's
Long Dark.
Long Dark, yeah, the Long Dark. That's already
Still
there.
available only for single player, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
and
Maybe it's on my wish list.
Have you heard of a game called Layers of Fear?
Layers of Fear. I think so.
Yeah, it's
Let
supposed
me
to be that you're going into someone's painting or something like that, and
Oh,
this guy
right,
has
yeah.
got a
But I'm
twisted
not
mind.
like of those scary games or something.
I think it's supposed to be a scary game. It did come out around about October, end of October
Layers
time.
of fear.
Yeah.
Layers of fear is what I call peeling an onion.
What do you call that thing that was in the water?
With these
Oh, yeah.
kind of mystery games, and then
Bastard.
you have to search for things, and game is too dark.
Yeah, it's too
yeah.
dark. Yeah.
Horror, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a horror game.
I don't see myself playing this game on a console. Seriously.
No, I'm at the moment trying to avoid horror games as much as possible, especially when people are already on about what games I should be doing for the next year's Night of Horror. Especially
Yes.
CAD.
So many horror games lately.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
many.
There's one game that's supposed to be coming out next year, which I'm not looking forward to at all, and I'm more than likely going to be forced to play it, and that is Outlast 2. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Ugh.
That was a good game. As I say,
Outlast? You
So-
said Outlast? Sorry,
Yeah, Outlast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Outlast 2
I
is
started
supposed
playing the first one. I started playing the one with the DLC a while ago,
to Whistleblower.
and I found it pretty good. It has a scene that looks like from that game called Evil Within, the part when the guy
Yes.
hides inside of a locker, and then it's like it's
I like
kind of complicated.
I like to point out with Outlast.
I like the game, but I stopped playing for some reason.
I stopped playing for. I know what reason I stopped playing.
yeah, I shit
Jump
my
scare.
pants.
Surprisingly, I don't do well with horror games. Who knew?
There are cuts
Yeah.
everywhere, and just
I'm happy I went
didn't
with
get
Soma
scared.
now.
I saw someone playing the first part, and then there's a guy on a wheelchair that just quickly jumps to you.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw that part first on YouTube, then I went to play, and then I knew that will be happening, so I wouldn't scare myself.
No,
And I usually play the game without sound because I
no,
I don't
that
know.
makes it worse.
No, we had fun because we ended up doing a Nights of Horror for Halloween, which we ended up with about 9 nights, wasn't it, Shimmy?
Yeah, something like that.
And on Halloween itself, someone who's more scared of horror games than I am, called Hanksy, he ended up doing something called a drunk playthrough of Outlast. And the point of it was that every time that he got scared, he had to take a shot of whiskey. I think he emptied the first bottle in less than an hour.
been dangerous actually.
We was more worried that he ended up getting too drunk, if anything.
Got
It
bladdered.
stopped
He
to
got
be
bladdered, yeah.
scary really quick.
I ended up texting him afterwards. He was so badly hungover, he had to go to a party as well.
I've seen that
Steaming.
a bit of a trend, playing drunk. I've seen so many videos or streams that people play drunk.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, the
Well,
only
it was
reason...
it was a nice rare occasion, wasn't it, for us anyway?
Well, no, well, I think Hanksy's the only one who's done the drunk ones. He's done 2 so far. Because he
An
also
alcoholic,
did...
innit, borderline. So
No, he ended up playing Slender: The Arrival, which came out on the Xbox One and PS4, and we came to a point where he said, "Well, we ended up challenging him to play the game. We didn't add any of the drinking part of that when we added the challenge to it. He added the drinking part of the challenge. So." Yeah, that was a fun game because we ended up calling Slenderman Slenderman. I found out a new voice I could do, which was like this. This is a creepy voice. Now that scared Heavenly when she's heard that now. And there was Charlie, which was a kid who ran around. That freaked him out the most.
little boy running around. Kids are scary in games.
It's scary in horror games, yeah. And so that's the reason why we ended up doing another drunk for Nights of Horror, which I've got a feeling we might end up doing again, and it might end up me doing it with Outlast 2. So
But you're doing a drunk one.
I don't know
That's
yet.
all.
You never know. It's not over a year. It's about another 11 months away, isn't it, before we do that one? It's probably 10 months away before we start planning those again.
Yeah.
So,
There's a rip-off of Thunderman games on Steam that is for free
I-
called Haunted Memories.
I'm
The
not
game,
surprised.
Haunted Memories.
What's
Yeah.
memories?
played. I didn't like it.
Shimmy's found a new game he wants to do for a series.
No. No. Oh yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, got a gun though.
Well,
You
what's the
can't see
point?
anything.
Just black.
Someone said that he is has an easy to find uninstall feature. Well, I don't need to play these horror games to get a bit scared. I got scared first time when I was really young, start to play Resident Evil 3 because of when the zombies break the windows or the nemesis here.
Yeah.
It's the noise. It's just the noise. So that's why if I come to play one horror game or something, I just turn down the volume.
Now it reminds me of
Play it on window and mode.
Now
Just a small window. I prevent myself.
we find it funny because one of the other nights of horrors, someone ended up playing Resident Evil HD remaster, and it was great because she kept on every time she was going down halls and that lot, she kept on asking where Barry was.
Yeah, Barry.
Where's Barry? Where's Barry? She doesn't like zombies. I'm just going to say that now.
The worst thing about the old games is the camera angle's fixed and you can't see around corners,
It's quite
or
hard. Is that
you could be a zombie there and you don't know, so you turn around and it just falls on you.
I think I came
think
off easy.
you have
this
more
year.
difficulty to play those old games now because of that camera features and the gameplay itself than before. It turns everything so hard now. The improved games we are used to it.
I love the bit there where you said it was a camera feature. No, it wasn't. They just got lazy with the cameras.
Yeah.
Don't defend old games that way. It was laziness. That it was limited to what they could do with the cameras, and it worked brilliantly for them.
Yeah, Silent Hill particularly. Got it right.
I would say, you know what? There's one game that's still in my memory that scared me the most near the beginning. Just for the way that it did it. Dead Space, the first Dead Space, when you first meet is it a xenomorph? Is it called
Xenomorph, yeah.
We jumped out the air vent.
Yeah, that was a very scary game.
That was a scary. Yeah.
I have that game still to try. I've seen someone else playing the game, and it's gruesome.
Oh,
I
God,
still need to. I have it in my library. I think on Origin or something, or here. I don't remember if I ever came out.
It is worth
I
playing.
still have to try the game. And 2. I think I have the 1 and 2. I'm not sure.
And my favourite part is near the beginning of it, where you get the laser gun that you've got throughout the game. And it's, oh god, that guy's just been killed gruesomely by a xenomorph. Well, who cares? I've now got a laser gun.
Yeah.
I think, okay, yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about those kind of games. The guy who you're controlling doesn't seem to be affected by any of this. You're the one who's more affected.
Yeah, it's like zero effects, as he said, logically.
So there's a xenomorph that's popped out of an air vent. I would run. No, he's standing there. We'll shoot this. Shoot his head off. It didn't work. Everything I've learnt about horror games has now gone out the window because of that. Well, yeah, there's so many bad memories of those kind of things. And like I said, from all that, I'm happy that Resident Evil 0 is coming out. Hopefully it'll have the same thing with the cameras, and we get to meet the giant snake again. I'm starting to think we should make Heavenly do a series on Resident Evil.
Definitely.
I doubt we're going to be able to get that happen, because she would definitely say no.
Worth a try.
It's worth a try. Oh, she's going to say no. We can ask Hanksy to ask her. You just, what's it called? Take her to a room one day, just sit her down. Guess what? You're going to do a new series.
Yeah, sellotape you to a chair.
Just at the door.
You're not allowed to leave till you completed it. Weeks later, and there's just a dead body on a chair. Or the legs are sawn off or something. Escaped.
Oh no. She's gone through the vents.
He's become one of them.
Anyway, we are getting close to the end of the podcast, guys. So we're not doing a quick update because what we've been doing today is talking about the news stories itself. The only things we might have missed off, J.J. Abram and Chair Entertainment, the guys who made Infinity Sword on the iOS, are going to be teaming up to make a game called Spy Jinx. I'm going to guess it's a spy game.
Sounds about right, doesn't it?
Rise of the Tomb Raider has got Twitch interactivity. If you go into the expedition mode on Rise of the Tomb Raider, people who are watching your Twitch stream will get an opportunity to mess with your game, from making the enemies more difficult, or engaging something called Big Head mode, which affects
Head mode.
Yeah, which affects you and the enemies.
Oh, so everyone's running with a big head.
Yeah. Basically, what it is that people will be getting 2 modifier cards that they can choose between. There's 64 cards in this stuff with 186 pairs for the viewers to vote on, and also people who are doing the voting, they do get opportunity because to get stuff.
Right.
So for example, if they're in side missions or in challenge tombs or getting a special achievements, while they're watching the stream, they could earn in-game currency.
All right.
Yeah, so that's nice. And like we said, Cloud is coming to Smash. For the UK game charts, Fallout 4 delivers the best ever launch week for the series while becoming the 3rd biggest launch of 2015 so far. Bethesda's second #1 of the year, the other one being Elder Scrolls Online, is behind only the familiar faces of FIFA 16 and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for debut week unit sales. It's a fantastic return for the series, bettering the debut sales of previous week 1 bestseller Fallout New Vegas by over 213%. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 makes way for the newly crowned champion, dropping to #2. FIFA 16 also drops down a place despite a boost fueled in part by high sales of the Xbox One FIFA 16 hardware bundle. Lara Croft returns as Rise of the Tomb Raider debuts at #4 for the Xbox One and 360. With Microsoft securing a timed exclusive for the title, sales lean heavily towards the Xbox One, of course, with 85% over the 360 with 15% of the share. Telltale Games' Minecraft Story Mode has climbed a place to #5 and delivers impressive week-on-week growth over its debut launch figure in its 3rd week. EA's Need for Speed drops 3 places to #6 in its 2nd week. Sega's Football Manager 2016 for the PC lands at #7, just ahead of the resurgence of LEGO Dimensions, which climbs a place to #8 thanks to retailer promotions. And former chart toppers Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Halo 5 Guardians are down to #9 and #10 in their 4th and 3rd weeks on the chart. So, in other words, up 1 to #5 is Minecraft Story Mode, new at #4, Rise of the Tomb Raider, down 1 to #3 is FIFA 16, down 1 to #2 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and new at #1 is Fallout 4. It's kind of not that much of a surprise, is it?
No, not really.
So, for next week, you guys got any predictions? What games? Well, yeah, Battlefront come out this week. Do you think that's going to be top for this Monday?
I would suspect so.
You'll be surprised if it's not, yeah.
I mean, yeah, again, you might have spent the money on Fallout 4, so that might slow it down.
Point. But then again, could be, you got to remember, these are sales for that week. So if people have already bought Fallout 4, so they might go out and get Battlefield. I've got a feeling, not Battlefield, Battlefront. I've got a feeling it's going to be #1. I've got no doubt of it, if anything.
I think Fallout probably one more week.
You think Fallout one more week?
More, even more. I guess I don't know.
I think Fallout will still be in the top 5. I think it'll move to #2.
Yeah, for probably #2.
Well,
I guess probably number one. I have no idea.
Well, these are the games that are coming out, which have come out and which are coming out anyway this week. Games that came out yesterday on Thursday, the 19th of November. Star Wars Battlefront, which came out on the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is now available on the PC. Guys, you can play Assassin's Creed. Yay! It's a good game. Less glitchy
I like
than the
it
last
until
one.
Brotherhood.
Till Brotherhood. That already out.
And then starts to come out a new Assassin's Creed, almost like at the
Every
pace
year.
of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Just there are so many Assassin's Creed now. My favorite is Brotherhood, and the next that came after that one.
Revelations.
Revelations, yes.
Yeah.
And
The
there are so
two,
many I can't even
Assassin's
remember
Creed
the name,
2
but then I just stopped to have interest in it because they don't give us time sometimes to play the games and replay them. Then it's coming out a new one, so the previous one is overrated already, and
I love it. Well, people, I think at the moment with Syndicate, people are just happy that it's not as glitchy as the last one. That's all they're happy with. At least these people now have faces, so they're happy. I think most of us here in the UK are happy because it's in the UK as well. So, I think that's the main reason why I ended up buying it.
It is a quick comparison on the new Star Wars Battlefront as well.
Yep.
In 2005, when Battlefront 2 was out, game had space battles, campaign mode, Clone Wars,
Yeah.
64-player battles, 20 maps to choose from, mod support, and no DLC crap.
Yeah, but does that one
2000.
run on 60 frames per second?
Well, yeah, but that's average for the thing. The new one now has no space battles, no campaign mode, no Clone Wars, only 40-player battles, only 12 maps, no mod support, and the DLC costs as much as the game.
Nice, perfect.
Roses are red, violets are blue. If you love Star Wars, may the Force be with you.
Oh, get lost. Anyway, continuing what games have come out. Game of Thrones Season Pass disc came out for the 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, and PC on the Thursday as well. Games that came out today on Friday the 20th of November. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival on the Wii U. That's supposed to be like a Mario Party version of Animal Crossing. Yeah, so, yeah. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash Wii U. So, yeah, Mario's selling himself out again.
Mario Tennis, as if he would actually play tennis.
Does
that game even exist in the world? You know,
it does now.
He's jumping through giant pipes and saving princesses. What does he want to play tennis for?
Because
Is he going to challenge Roger Federer for the championship or something?
Everyone knows that. We're not going into that Nintendo side of thing. Because last time we went down to that Nintendo side of thing, we've discovered something about Donkey Kong that is going to stick in my mind for a long time, and you know it.
Oh dear.
Yeah. No, not going back down
Donkey
there.
Kong.
Oh. Why do you think they're all called Kong in that game?
Because they've got big.
No.
Hands.
No. Nintendo presents new Cell Boutique 2 Fashion Forward, which came on the 3DS, and Barbie and Her Sisters Puppy Rescue comes out on the Wii, 360, PS3, Wii U, and 3DS. You got a feeling this Friday isn't as strong as it usually is.
What's happening?
On Tuesday, the 24th of November, we've got Bloodborne: The Old Hunters coming out on the PS4, which is I think it's DLC for Bloodborne, which is nice. And a game called Primal Carnage Extinction is coming out on the PS4. Now, these are both digital only. So, yeah, that's all the games coming out up until Wednesday the 25th. So,
Primal Carnage. Is that the
Primal
game
Carnage,
that
yeah.
is on Steam and it's quite bad?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's coming out to the PS4.
Dinosaur one.
it
Yeah,
has
the
really
dinosaur
bad
one.
reviews.
Ark.
Ark is. I mean, Ark should do well. I mean, we play Rust, don't we? That's just Ark is basically the same, but with dinosaurs, isn't it?
You do know that sells it for me. There's two things that sells me a game quite quickly. One, it's got dinosaurs in it, and two, it's got snow in it. Why do you think I'm going to get Tomb Raider?
dinosaurs in it as well. I've not seen much of the new Tomb Raider.
No, there's no dinosaurs in the new Tomb Raider, but there's a lot of snow. Yeah,
Alright,
that's the
do you
reason
get
why
the
I'm getting
sound
it. Yeah, I love snow. Okay.
Isn't it supposed to be snowing this weekend?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yay!
Anyway, before we finish off the podcast, we usually do our usual plugging stuff and bits and pieces. And we're going to start with JeSTeR. Do you want to start? Have you got any streams or videos planned for this week? Or your channel?
For the next week, you want me to tell my channel?
Yeah.
Just browse on YouTube for JeSTeR Gaming 777, or write JeSTeR Rust or JeSTeR Daisy. It will appear on my channel eventually. There are the links for my Twitch. I don't stream as much as I wanted right now. I released the second episode of my series called All Games You Should Play yesterday. Just reminding people of probably the old games I played, and I advise people to try, but many games are already obsolete, but were really great and fun, like Driver, Mafia 1, a Duck Hunt, and everything else. I'm just making a few series. I found a lot of old games, so I plan next week to release probably the third episode by the middle of the week as well. I have a few footage from probably Rust, Daisy, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is not my favorite. I prefer Counter-Strike Source, but I plan to release a bit of these games and more episodes until the end of the month.
Yep.
So.
Brilliant. I enjoyed the old game series.
Yeah,
as well.
I like the old game idea.
Thank you. Even if they are
on it, and I was
they
made
don't
up
have
pleased to play that.
many views, but I'm really enjoying doing this. So because it brings me back so many memories of old games, and probably I've been thinking about making a full playthrough or just a speed run of a game, for example, Resident Evil 3 or something. I don't even know, because it just brings me back so many good memories that I don't know. But full playthroughs, I have some full playthroughs of games or walkthroughs, whatever, on my channel. My last one, it was a point-and-click game, and the previous one was from Alice Madness Returns. I think it's a great game.
Oh yeah,
Platform
I know that,
game.
yeah.
It's an awesome platform adventure game. I love the plot, and everything is crazy there. But it takes so much time to edit and to everything. So to cut the parts and the parts, for example,
I know what you mean.
I repeatedly die, and I have to cut everything and repeat it. Just too long. And the game itself is quite long, so I probably finished it on 18, 19 hours. But if I didn't go search for many things, probably 12 or 13.
Now, lucky for me, I've got quite a few good editors sometimes helping with certain things. I know Shimmy edits when his videos come up sometimes as well.
You have to tell me your channels, or
yes,
even which I need to get to stream probably next month.
Cool.
Yes.
So, like you said, your YouTube channel, if you just search for JeSTeR, it's capital J, small e, capital S, capital T, small e, capital R, yep?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you search for that, you'll find the channel. Some brilliant videos. Like I said, with the old games, I really enjoy watching the old game kind of stuff myself. That piece is, yes. What about you, Shimmy? Any streams planned? Have you got any videos that you want to do?
Got some stuff from getting killed a lot in Rust. So
bring it. I want that. Bring it. I want to put it up.
I've got something to edit up. Yeah, getting chased about and things. Some nice random encounters. So I'll probably, but I was just finding the time to do that. But other than that, and to be fair, I haven't done any World of Tanks in a while. So
yeah, what is wrong with you, man?
World of Tanks?
Oh yeah, Shimmy's our World of Tanks
I've
expert.
played it for I played it for many months. I stopped 1 year ago because of Daisy, and I I really need to go back to the game because I love the game.
Let
I
me
just,
know and we'll
I just,
play together.
yeah, I just,
Everyone around me is addicted to the game,
yeah,
but
I just stopped because I didn't like tanks.
Right, thanks. Naughty man.
well, I don't like tanks, but I played for a good time, and I think it's a really fun game. But indeed, it has a lot of tactics.
To be honest, I have got it downloaded on my Xbox One, so I should technically have a go of it one day. But
Have a go of it one day. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure.
I probably might. But anyway, yeah, Shimmy, your Twitch channel, twitch.tv/RedShimmy, your Twitter handle @RedShimmy. Yep.
Yes, that's where all the magic happens.
That's where's all where the magic and the tanks happen.
Yes.
For me, I might be having a bit of a break. Well, like I said, we're going to have the podcast coming out on the Wednesday, as hopefully usual. Hopefully, we'll not have any problems this time. Now everything's fixed
Fingers
again.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, I am going to be doing some streaming because I will be starting my new series on Twitch at least of Numa.
Numa.
Yeah, I had a go of it a little bit, and it reminds me a bit of Stanley Parable. So I might as well have a go of it and do a stream of that. But that should be probably on Sunday, maybe. Also, we are going to be starting to do a little bit of filming, recording stuff ourselves, which will be coming out not next week, but the week after, where we'll be doing our top 5 games. I think it's going to be me and Kaj on the first week.
Right.
What we're going to be doing, we're going to do all the Crave Your games. We're going to be doing the top 5 games all through December. So look forward to seeing those. Well, hopefully all of us will be doing that. My channel is twitch.tv/GDW2007. My Twitter handle the same @GDW2007. For our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CraveYourGames. This week we put out the second part of the Meet the Cravers series, where this time the Cravers, this is Sims 4 series, ended up getting jobs. And
Apart from me, right?
no, you've got a job. You're an entertainer.
Oh, right. Yeah, that could be true.
Yeah. So, yeah, you've got a job. All of them. The only one who hasn't got a job is me because I'm a bloody gnome on the table.
I don't have a job. I'm unemployed right now, so that's why I dedicate myself to more games. Okay, I subscribe to you, so I look forward.
What else we did? On Tuesday, we put our second part of our Plants vs. Zombies with me, Watts, and Jen Beaker of Garden Warfare. Loved doing that.
I really like the game.
Yeah, that is a great game.
I already streamed it for a bit. It's really funny.
Oh, it's nice when you try and do something and then you're repeating yourself over and over again. But I love that game.
I only play
so
with the
much.
cactus, actually.
You like the cactus? I'm more of a pea shooter fan myself. I've always been a pea shooter fan. Wednesday, what did we put out on Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday, we did the part 4 of Billy's Silent Hill 2 gameplay. This time he ends up leaving someone a lift. Don't ask why. Thursday, we put up mine and Kaj's first part of our Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, where I now know what a parallel port is.
Ah.
Yeah, don't just watch the video. You'll figure out why that's important in that. And a video which came out on Friday. It is our WWE predictions for Survivor Series, which first time we've done it on WWE 2K16. Which the format that we've done on there, we're more than likely going to be doing from now on, where the AI are going to be controlling the wrestlers while we talk over it. We just find it a lot better, and Kaj talks more in it as well. So,
Cool.
Yeah. So that is youtube.com/CraveYourGames, and then, like I said, twitch.tv/CTG Podcast for the CTG Podcast. which is usually out on a Wednesday, usually around about 9 p.m. For the audio version of the podcast and the update, you can find those at Crave by going to craveyourgame.wordpress.com. And if you're 18 and over and you want to join a friendly community, you can do so by going to cravethegame.net. That is everything, isn't it? Yes.
That's everything, yeah.
That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, JeSTeR, thank you very much again for joining us for this week.
And thanks for the invite.
Yep, you're always welcome to come back whenever you want.
Yeah, I really liked it, and probably when I'm able, actually Fridays night are not a good time for
like
me.
I said,
but
usually this is
actually,
a one. Yeah, this is a one-off.
yeah, it's
that
an
we did
exception.
that. Yeah, usually we were on the Wednesday.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, you're always invited to come back again whenever you want.
Thank you.
And Shimmy, you're here.
I'm always here, man.
You're always here. Yeah. By the way, I just got a message from Ryan. Sorry, dude, just got this now. Was working. What for?
All right, yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
What for? Because it's a Friday and it shouldn't be for anything.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody. We will be back, like I said, next week for the CTG Podcast, where we will be talking about the Xbox One and the PS4 and how they've done so far these past 2 years. Yes, it's that anniversary again of those two consoles. By the way, sneak peek there, PlayStation 4 is doing better.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So we'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll have Kaj back as well. Till then, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, you did say Steve. You meant to.
On Steam, no, on Steam. But a lot of
Right.
gamers are watching other people play the game too. While it has yet to set new records on Twitch, it's still driven up traffic for the streaming service, according to Twitch's app's viewership stats. At its peak, almost 245,000 concurrent viewers were watching various streams of Fallout 4 related content. Well, this number has since fallen, of course, because other people have decided either to play the game or watch something else. It's Twitch. Twitch's stats show that the game was watched by more people than other popular titles, League of Legends and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, on its launch day.